Alright, guys. So, like, normal circumstances, I don't have anywhere to set the camera to get a good view of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna master this, first time ever doing it, with one hand. Yeah, and that's it. But alright, so as you might or might not be able to see, I made a mess. Yeah, you can't really see it. There's wax on the cover there. So you can see that. I have a paper towel down. And I have an iron. Now, the idea is you set the iron over the wax stain. It liquefies the wax, and the paper towel will absorb it. That's the idea. Now, if I could only find a good place to set this camera.
Cats will do anything for the irresistible taste of Temptations treat.
How about that? And it's sitting, yes, and it's not falling over. Alright. And you see, I don't know if you can see that. You know what? It'll work or it won't. So I'm here, and I'm trying to remove as much of the wax from the cover as humanly possible to more or less prove, yeah, you can see, prove that it could be done. So bam, see more wax.
The 2019 Subaru Forester, the most adventurous Forester ever.
Everyone knows the gentleman for his affordable auto insurance.
And everyone knows that.
And it smells good while you do it.
But I bet you didn't know we're Shakespearean actors. To be or not to be.
Mark, my insurance at last.
We're also cakeologists. Shakalicious.
Check out Mark.
Well, those weren't your strong suits. But at least you're great at providing coverage to people who let their insurance lapse.
First rate, no rate you can get online. Go to the general and say sometime.
And as you can see, slow but surely, the wax comes out. Let me get back to you when it's finished. Alright, guys. So, the last... Or, here, check this out. Alright. So, the chair was covered in wax. Now, the paper towels are covered with wax. I don't know how well you can see this. My crappy camera and this crappy lighting. But now I have 5 paper towels pretty much soaked in wax. And I don't know how well you can see the chair, but a chair that does not have wax. There's still a little dark spot, but hey. Nothing's perfect, and it's far from ruined. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. And it smells good. Maybe I should dip the whole thing in wax. Anyways, the remainder of this video, the last 20-some minutes, which I was going to put this at the end, I'm going to put it at the beginning. The last 20 minutes of this video is me taking a trip through town, doing various things, and then taking a walk at my favorite spot, ranting about nonsense that probably nobody cares about. I classify it as there's 3 types of nonsense. There's the type that doesn't matter. There's the type that you can't change. And there's the type that everyone already knows about. So, I mean, you can watch it if you want. I think I hit some pretty good points. It pretty much just shows... It shows the how my world is messed up. From my perspective of what I see, what I was taught growing up, and my personal outlook on what happens around me. I could be wrong, I could be right, but it's completely factual information based off of what I knew and know growing up. So, watch or don't watch it. It doesn't matter to me. It's like I'm speaking Chinese to half you people anyway. But hey, if you are watching this, watching any of my stuff, I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy, and someday you part this knowledge onto somebody else. All right, have a great day. Later on. Hey guys, so here we are in the great town of wherever it is I tell you I live. Actually, it's not that town, but I lie about where I live because, well, I don't want random internet people knowing where I live just in case I ever become popular. I'm sitting here waiting for the bus to go and see my grandfather. I haven't shot a video in a little while because I've been working on that bottle opener thing, and my grandfather's in the hospital, and my grandmother's should probably be in the loony bin, but I don't want to. That's a whole different animal. So aside from working on the bottle opener idea, I haven't been shooting any other videos because I've been trying to get a good, I don't know how to put it, trying to get like just one good video, because this is going to actually be viewed by people for sure, probably. So I'm trying to do something with a little more quality, and I have a hard time doing that because naturally, like as I am, I'm not a performer, you know. I don't go and, you know, raise my excitement level to make people think that I'm interesting. Or, you know, I'm not really an actor per se. I mean, I think I can put on a good show, but I'm not like some of the other people that like take something that's supposed to be fun and informational and kind of like turn it into a giant drama spectacle of, you know, emotions. Like, you can only feel so many ways about, you know, casting aluminum brass knuckles, and it just, maybe just me. And yeah, so I'm going out today. I'm gonna see my grandfather. I'm gonna go from place to place and do some different things. I gotta pick up some equipment, so and probably go out to eat. So I'll check in with you periodically, and we'll have a little adventure video. So I'm just leaving the hospital.
Good.
It's pretty fancy. So I just left the hospital. It's really busy in there. I don't like people looking at me weird. And I definitely don't like talking on camera in front of people, so I kind of just left. Well, it's not a horrible day, and I figure before it starts to rain, I'm gonna take a walk. I have to stop at 2 stores in this town before I move on to the next one. So I'm going to the Salvation Army to see if I can pick up anything of use for my projects. And then I gotta go to Bilo to get some cream cheese for some bagels. But you don't care about that, and honestly I don't either. So I want to talk about this bottle opener competition because it's like completely consuming like probably my next 30 days. At least my next 30 days. I made one that I like. It's not the most... I have one done that it's not the most... It's not the best design, but I mean, it's pretty standard. It's what you would expect from a bottle opener. And then I made a second one already, and it is very poor quality. It works better than the first one, but it looks like complete crap. So like I said before, anyone can make a bottle opener out of almost anything. I'm pretty sure I've seen a guy open a bottle with a piece of paper, and you know, I'm not saying it's impossible, just really impractical. So, I don't expect to win any medals on this. I'm just happy to be involved in something on YouTube. This is my first competition since I started YouTubing. So I'm kind of proud of this all on its own. Plus, you kind of got to give me a little slack. I mean, I wasn't blessed with a Devil Forge and a workspace. I do everything with a bucket on a slab of cement. So, I mean, you gotta at least look at it from that point of view. I don't really think it's so much my technique, it's more my equipment. I'll let you in on a little secret. I used to cast metals more often when I was in high school. All the other people would rather go to the gym room than, do their shop projects. So I used to do, my shop projects and a couple other people's shop projects because I enjoyed that kind of stuff. So I kind of got casting and welding down pretty freaking good, but that was like a little while ago. So when I'm redoing it now with the tools I got, it's slightly new methods, but the outcome's pretty much the same. But alright. At the store. So, I mean, if you're looking at me for any kind of prizes, just take into consideration the stuff I do and how I do it. But I'm headed over to grab some cream cheese, and like I said, I'm getting to a more populated area, so I'm done talking. I'm not sure where I left you off at, but I went to Salvation Army, and I went to Bilo, and they didn't really have anything I wanted. Picked up cream cheese for the grandmother, which is one reason why I'm here now. I'm back downtown, picnic table, chilling out. The bus doesn't come for about 40 minutes, so I want to get back before the cream cheese gets all melty and icky, gross. So that's one reason I'm going back. I don't want to go back because I'm afraid if I go back in that house, I'm not gonna go back outside. And it's nice outside, and there's things I kind of want to do outside, but I just ain't feeling it. Like, I wanted to go to Walmart and look around and pick up some stuff, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not in for the long bus ride, and there's nothing I need from there or want from there off the top of my head that validates me going all the way up there. So I'm not gonna do that. There's nothing really I want to melt. I mean, I always want to melt stuff. It's just fun to do. But there's nothing really in particular I can do. Like, I don't have a whole ton of scrap that I can melt down for ingots even. I do have like a 4-pack of those little ingots that I have to cut apart because I over poured and they all ran together, but I think if I cut them apart, I'll add them to my good collection. But that's something that doesn't need to be done. It's not even that it needs to be done, it's just so it doesn't progress me in any direction. I have a bunch of good aluminum that I have saved back, and I have a bunch of like casted that needs to be recasted stuff that's pure aluminum that just needs to be made into something because it didn't make good ingots. Like something happened to ruin it, or sprues and stuff, whatever. There's and I have a bunch of heat sinks I want to melt down, but I was kind of saving those. I was going to do those all in one batch when I got enough of them. Because they're extruded aluminum. I'm not going to differentiate the difference between extruded and casted and that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna, I don't know, I just kind of want to put it all together just because I can. As far as I'm concerned, aluminum is aluminum. So, I know some stuff's easier to cast than others, and some stuff takes different flux or something, or has a minute difference in temperature or whatever, but I'm not splitting hairs on that kind of stuff. Like I said, if I had my own garage, my own workshop, I would put a little more effort into it. But I'm thinking after this competition, I might lay off casting for a little while. I might do something else. Like I don't know what. But I'm almost out of coal again, and this competition is just proving that my methods are inadequate. Like, they work for a hobby, they work for messing around, they work for different things. I just noticed my one tooth on the bottom is higher than the rest of them. Huh. But anyways, it's good for a hobby and good for messing around, but if I'm gonna, run with the big dogs, I need something a little better. Not to mention my camera skills are lacking, which is another problem with, doing something different. Like I did a cooking thing, and I was thinking about doing more cooking things, but in order to get my camera the way I want it, it's just kind of difficult. And then for some reason, like, outside lighting is like so much better than indoor lighting. Imagine that. But it kind of like puts a damper on the whole filming indoors. Not to mention I have a problem with being interrupted by people or being around people and doing this. I don't know why. I mean, it makes me feel weird, I guess. If I could just walk around town through crowds of people and videotape, it would be alright, but I don't like videotaping other people and they don't know it. I think that's wrong. But that's just my opinion. Like, I believe in, like, a consent kind of thing. Like, anyone that's in this video today was purely because they were just happened to be in the shot. I didn't do it because I was doing it for a reason. What else? I'm assuming that I'm going to get quite a few views on my bottle opener video. So I'm hoping if anyone watches that and they watch this or watch the opener, I get some subscriptions and I get some tips on what to do, because I'm pretty versatile. It's just my workspace. Like, I can do a lot of different things. Like, I'm kind of crafty. But my thing is I don't really have the space to do it and then the drive to actually do it. Like, I get up in the morning and I'm like, I want to do this, this, and this. Or I go to bed at night and I'm like, I'm going to do this, this, and this tomorrow. And I don't actually accomplish hardly anything. Like, sometimes if I write it down, then I'll just go and do it. And then, But for some reason, once I'm in that house, I don't have the drive to do anything until I'm, alone, I guess. I wanted to take a walk today, but I don't know. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm gonna let you guys go. If I think of anything else clever, I'll fill you in. Today's still young, so if I don't get sucked into sticking around the house, maybe I'll go out and do something and tack it on the video. I was thinking about doing something towards a small garden, and I was thinking about doing something towards wild edibles, but I need my hands to do that, and I can't hold the camera. My camera stand's great, but it doesn't get a wide enough shot, and it's weird. It's just complicated. So, my battery's about dead, which this is a good video for my battery to die in, instead of something like I'm in the middle of casting. So, I know you're probably like, I thought that guy quit smoking. I did. It turns out whenever I'm downtown and I'm waiting for a bus and I'm bored, nothing kills the time better than, sitting around having a cigarette, drinking an energy drink, enjoy the breeze. I don't particularly like to smoke. I don't particularly want to smoke, but when I'm in a situation that makes me feel, I don't know, down or anxious, it kind of like gives me a little pick-me-up. Like I just got done seeing my pap in the hospital, and he's looking good and all, but dude's like 90, so sooner or later, something bad's gonna happen. So, that thought's kind of sad, but I learned to suppress those feelings. Which might not be healthy, but half the things I do ain't healthy. Alright guys, I'll catch you in a bit. Hey guys, so I went home, dropped off the cream cheese. Figured I had a little bit of, energy left, so I came out to my hiking spot. Bam. To have lunch. Now, somebody took my copper motor I had out here. I'm not too broken up about it, but I mean, they pretty much destroyed this whole site that I put together and took my copper. It's a little upsetting, but it's whatever. Time for a picnic, I suppose. Now, I have two options. I can walk that way a little bit, and then turn around and go back. I can go that way, and that way will take me all the way to the town across from my town. It's probably about 3 to 4 miles, maybe 5. And once I go down that hill, it is like a commitment. It is like, I'm not walking back up this hill. I have to go that way. And they do have the bridge barricaded off, but it's nothing you can't climb around. And they don't let people down there. So there's a lot of pros and cons to going that way. One, beautiful things to videotape. There's rivers and old train bridges, but they don't let people down there. Not that there's anyone down there to stop me. And I'd have to climb over a bridge to get through, and it's like 5 miles, maybe 4 or 3. It's miles instead of like it's not just a little bit out of the way. It's way out of the way. Or I can have a little fire here and down there, and just head back. Maybe grab a brewski, which I was gonna grab some sort of alcoholic beverage and bring it back here, but I don't know. I decided it's a little too early in the day, and I still don't, I don't know, I don't feel like being drunk right now, I guess. I know it's weird for me to say because, I just should never say something like that. It's crazy talk. I'm pretty much just out here to kill some time. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat this food. I brought 2 bottles of water and crackers and an apple. Munch on because I skipped lunch. I don't really want to spend the money on beer. Yeah, it's probably better to allocate that cash somewhere else. I don't know. No, I guess that's it for now. I think that's all for today. You know what? Tonight I'm adding on a little clip to the end of this. I'm going to show you how to get wax out of upholstery. because my grandmother seems to make a mountain out of a molehill. I got a little bit of wax on the furniture, and she's telling everybody that I completely destroyed the chair, and it's completely ruined, and like, you must be out of your mind. I don't know if she's trying to, like, I don't know, forward someone the bill or some crap, but it's completely fixable. So I don't know what she's complaining about. Like this morning, alright? As soon as I get out of bed, as soon as I go downstairs, she's like, what did you do to my tinfoil dispenser thing? And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. She shows me, she's like, it's broken, it's ruined. And I'm like, she's like, oh, it was $19. And I'm like, first off, I don't think I even touched it. And then I remembered that I did. But then she was like, I was like, it's far from broken. You just don't know how to use it. Because she has this thing where she goes and buys all these kitchen gadgets and spends all this freaking money that, you know, could be put elsewhere and doesn't even know how to use half of it. But I came to the conclusion, if I touch anything, she's just going to accuse me of breaking it. For whatever reason, she's doing that. Like I said, I think she's like, she's getting something out of it, or, you know, maybe she's going loony. I don't know. It's too confusing. I kind of just stay in my room and try my best to ignore the world. Speaking of which, I was thinking about if I could figure out how to videotape what I'm doing on a computer. Like, you know how you screenshot, but instead you take a video? I wanted to do a couple of reviews on a game or two. Because when I'm not out trying to do something and for some reason all my energy is depleted and I hate the world, the last thing the thing I do most is I play these I have 5 games downloaded that I only play 3 of them, and 1 I've been into more than the rest. And I was thinking about writing up a small review on it to something new for the channel. But I'm not technologically advanced. Like, for some reason, this world that I live in finds ways to put people down or, like, label people, because why would you make something, okay, like, 3 years ago, I could turn a computer inside out, backwards, and upside down, and know everything about it. Now, it's like Chinese. And then I got to thinking, like, where can I associate this with other parts of the world? I'm like, doctors. Why would you name medicine in, like, Latin, or different procedures in, like, Latin, when you could just simply give it a simple name? Do you know why? So it's harder to learn, so that they can, like, put a date on you. They can put, like, a bracket on your mentality. Is the only reason I can think of it. Why would you make something that people need, or is advancing in the world, so difficult to learn? That's my opinion, but no one listens to my opinion. That's why I don't have any subscribers. That's probably why I don't have a giant workshop of great video equipment, because I call it like I see it, instead of, you know, bowing down to forces at hand. Which I can't really say that either, because I pretty much just roll with whatever happens, because I have no fighting power in the matter anyway. Here's another thing, fishing license. Alright, so I was talking about taking, I guess he'd be like my nephew, my cousin, out for the first day of trout. And I found out that fishing license in my state is $32 for the fishing license and the trout stamp. And, you know, if you want to fish, like, Lake Erie or different states, it costs even more. So I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, it costs $32 to go fishing. Where does that money go? I want to see proof of where my money is going if I'm spending that much to sit by a pond. Like, because the pond I go to, I tell you what, they don't do very much there. They don't do hardly anything in terms of making it better. And I use better in air quotes. more accessible to people with boats, more, you know, nothing better for the environment. It's more of a making it more of an attraction rather than bettering it for the animals, if that makes sense. And they don't even do very much in that department. I mean, that lake has been there since the dawn of time, and they just put a boat launch in like 4 or 5 years ago. So, and around here, it's a pretty popular place to go fishing because it's the only real place to go fishing. In a general, like, in a sense of the word. Anyways, so then I was thinking about something else. I was working with a foundry in the backyard, and some guy came by, and he's like, "Do you have a permit to have a fire in the backyard?" I'm like, "Well, who's asking?" He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, you know, they can all go, you know, screw themselves or whatever, you know." He said something to the effect of, "They're all a bunch of jerk bags," and I pretty much agree. And I was like, I have to pay to have a fire in my backyard. Now, first off, my fire is completely freaking contained. Like, there is no way, like, I'd have to try to light a house on fire the way I do it. I'd have to put effort into it. So, there's no way that is a problem. And what would I think it's $10 for a permit. Where is that $10 going? The fire department? And why would that $10 make a difference between me having a fire or not having a fire? Or, you know, if I had a fire right here, right now, a big old bonfire, or I had a little contained fire back there, I could do it here with no consequence. But if I do it back in my house, and I could definitely burn down this forest. So, I mean, in retrospect, where is that money going? Who's getting that money? And what are they using it for? Because they're definitely not making my life better. Like, the taxes they take from me when I was working, the money they get for driver's license, the money they get for fishing license, camping, recreational camping, whether it be like, especially if you ask to pitch a tent on a plot of land, why would you have to pay for that? Like, who has a right to say, I own this and you can't be there? Like, who has that right? Alright. Okay, I just got way into something that was... Long story short, the world I live in, I don't know about you guys, you'd have to be blind not to see the corruption. And I'm just so curious how far it's going to go before somebody actually does something, or is it even capable of being fixed at this point? I don't want spreadsheets of, oh, this money's going here. I want to physically see the difference. If 4,000 people in this town buy a fishing license, which I'm sure that's probably a good number to go with, that is like $12,000. Where is that going? I think it's buying somebody a new Porsche, not fixing anything, or, you know, making the environment any better. Hey, just my opinion. Later on, guys, I'll put a timestamp of the wax thing, getting wax out of upholstery, so you can skip my rants and nonsense of day-to-day life, if you're curious of how I do it. Alright, thanks for watching. Later on. Well, I'm not done ranting. Part of this is because I'm trying to wear out the battery. It's on, like, gonna die any second mode. And the other part of this is I started walking towards one of my places I like to chill out. And I thought, you know what, I got something else I kind of want to complain about, and I might as well, because if anyone watches this, they probably just think I'm full of myself, or, you know, just something else to complain about, or whatever, because everyone either already knows, or, you know, doesn't care, or benefiting from it, or whatever. So, if, I might as well get it out there, because it doesn't really make a difference. You either like what I have to say, or you don't. So I worked at a gas station for about 3.5 years, probably closer to 4. I was there pretty much from when they started, when they very first opened. And I worked there It started out that it was part-time for probably like the first, I think, 6 months. And then they ramped me up to full-time, 40 hours a week. I did 4 10-hour shifts. And, well, I did that for 2.5 years after the beginning part. After the probationary period and the part-time. But I did 40 hours a week for about 2.5 years. So right at that point, I was 3 years in. I didn't get full-time until, like, I got 40 hours a week, but I wasn't classified as full-time until about 3 years and 3 months in. They gave me full-time. They gave me the title full-time and like a quarter raise. All right, now I did my job and I closed the store every freaking night, 4 nights a week, with minimal complaining. I would say probably below average complaining. I complained, but I don't think it was a bunch of complaining, honestly. Relatively, I enjoyed my job. I mean, it had its drawbacks like every job, and it was pretty on the low end of, what kind of job you could have. But, I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't horrible. But I worked there for 3.5 years. Or almost 4. So, 6 months in, I got 40 hours, but I didn't get the title. 3 years in, I got the 40 hours a week and the title. And then I threatened to quit. I was like, you know what? I've been working this job as a manager for over 3 years. A ballpark of 3 years. I was like, you know what? I'm not working for you anymore if you're not going to give me, what I deserve. So they bumped me up to the next thing up. It was called a key holder, a key associate, or whatever. So they called you a key associate. I closed the store, but I'm not allowed to I didn't actually get a key, which wasn't that big of a deal to me because I honestly didn't want that kind of responsibility. So I got that promotion. It came with about another quarter added on. I was up to about $9 an hour. No, maybe, yeah, it was about $9 an hour. And I had the benefits and all that. And I was like, you know what? This ain't so bad. It's still not right because I was every bit as good as my job as the other people that got promoted, but I didn't get the promotion that I should have had. So that was a nice kick in the teeth, so to speak. But I went along with it because it was still halfway decent money and whatever. So that was a big problem. That was how a business takes advantage of the working man. Now, that's part of the rant, and that was a big problem. But one thing I wanted to focus on was I made $9 an hour. They took about $3 out in taxes. So I was actually making clear cut $6 an hour, maybe $6.25 after taxes were taken out and the medical and that kind of stuff. Which I don't really, it's whatever, but now those taxes get taken out. And you get, and I don't claim anybody, so that's why they take out a little bit more or less. I don't know. But they take out more because I wanted them to take out the maximum so I didn't owe anything. So then you go get your taxes done, and they give you like a refund of whatever was left over from whatever they take your money for in the first place that you work for. Anyways, so you work for this money, they take a percentage of the money, they go to give you back a percentage of that, and then the person that you go to get that money back from that's already yours, they charge you for. So it's like having a debit card or having a bank account. It's your money. Your money's in the bank, but you have to pay them to get your money. how is that even right? How do people let that okay? How do people are like, okay, yeah, I have $10,000 of my own money in the bank that they can take X amount of money out of that to loan to somebody else where they get their interest for the loan. And then when I need the money, I have to pay them to get my money? It's insane. Like, maybe I just go to the wrong banks, but I've been to like 3 or 4 banks, and there's fee after fee after fee. And I'm like, if I have X amount of money in the bank, and you're taking X amount of money to loan to somebody else, because that's what you guys do, or pay whatever, and then you get that interest back, free and clear money that, you know, costs you nothing, why am I paying to get the money I work for? So, it's like, how am I getting screwed the whole way around, and none of it in the good way? I worked, they took money, I worked, or I went to get a percentage of that money back, and I had to pay for that. Then I finally get that money, a percentage of what was taken in the first place, and I put that money in the bank, and then I gotta pay, you know, $1 a month to keep my checking account open. Then I gotta pay $10 to get a card to be able to, you know, spend the money in stores by using a debit card. Then I gotta spend so much a month to keep the card active of my own money. Like, is anyone like? I hope someone's following this besides me. But you know what? That's the end of the rant. I'm sure my batteries are dead enough. I'm gonna get rid of them. Stay tuned. Later on.